Hi, this is Kimberly Reuter, business advisor and supply chain expert, and welcome back to my podcast, Supply Chain Wake Up. Got it this time. As you guys know, we went through some rebranding. And if you've been following along, you'll see that we've got some changes here in the background with some lights and this, that, and the other. And I want to talk to you guys today about staying your course. And how I just kind of learned that lesson for myself here a few minutes ago. So, as you guys know, I started this podcast because I just had so much in my head and so much experience, and I wanted to share it with everyone. And I was also very frustrated with what was available in the market. I felt like the podcasts that were out there, especially around supply chain, in a lot of places were coming from people who were mostly just consultants. They hadn't really built anything from scratch. They hadn't got deep into companies. And a lot of them really didn't have a lot of experience or diverse experience, but they had some backing. And so they had a podcast. And so I was frustrated by that because, as you guys know, if you've been listening to my podcast, I'm anything but that. I started as a telex operator with T. Parker Host back in Norfolk. Then I went to import agent where I was helping doing the import paperwork for the ships, and then I got into being a freight forwarder broker. So I worked myself up from the pretty much the lowest position in the supply chain industry all the way up to the top. I've built, created, rescued supply chains from startups all the way up to Fortune 500s. I architect of Amazon. Like I've gone up and down and around and over everything when it comes to supply chain and a lot of other things too. But anyway, that's another story. So when I started this podcast, it was really about being that voice, being that nitty gritty. I got you. I've been in it. We're going to sit down and have a chat, greasy and dirty kind of conversation. And it worked. It was authentic. People liked it. People still like it. It's growing. We have a lot of great following. It's amazing. And I love it because I did it my way. And the things that made it my way for this podcast and things that I got flack for and continue to get flack for is that no hair, no makeup, no pretense, no bullshit. That's the story. End of it. And I've done over 100 episodes just with that, right? Just with the Kim show, just with this is what it is. This is how we work. It's sloppy. It doesn't look all that professional, but that's what supply chain wake up is about. Because if you have ever worked the supply chain, you wake up like, what the fuck is going on here? So, and a lot of supply chains need to wake up. And I love the new name and I love the branding work that we've done. And I love the thumbnails and I love everything that we've really bought it together. And it's been amazing. But here's what happened. As part of this, and with the bestest of intentions, the feedback was that I need to update my studio recording space here a little bit. I need to add some lights, some color in the background. You see, we've done that. I kind of fucking love it. I do love that. And I'm gonna get to that chair. I told y'all last week I was gonna do it, and I didn't do it. And I moved the stuff out from behind me, though we still got the clock because I do like the clock. I don't think that really is that offensive. But the feedback I got was you need to move. You need to not have a window behind you. You need a different light. You need to move your desk. You need to remove your recording space. Oh, yeah. And I took it to heart because I'm serious about this. Like, I believe in it. Like, they're professionals and I believe in what they have to say, and I tried it. And here's what happened. It sucked. I didn't like it. The advice is solid and I understand where it's coming from and I don't disagree with it, but I did set it up the way that they wanted. I shut the shutters, I changed everything. I tried to make it look like other people's podcast is basically what I was doing. And guess what? It sucked. I felt like I was in a cave. It didn't look right. The lighting was off. Things were grainy. Then I had to change my monitor was too bright. Now I got to change my monitor, and now I got to change this, and now I got to open shutters and shut shutters and do all this kind of shutter shit. Every time I want to do a fucking 20-minute podcast, 20 fucking minutes. And you know what's going to happen? I'm not going to record because I will be frustrated with it because now I'm focused on the wrong thing. Now I'm focused on how's my lighting? Now I'm focused on am I in the right position? Now I'm focused on do I look grainy? Now I'm focused on can you see anything in the background? Now I'm focused on everything else but the message. And that is why I started the podcast the way I did in the beginning. So I had to catch myself. Just like everybody else, I fell into it. And none of this was bad intention. All of this was beautiful. All of this was amazing, great advice. And my background and my recording space looked like their space. I mean, it looked kind of cavey. It looked like a recording studio with LED lights. And maybe that's what it's supposed to look like. Like, I don't know. But I don't like it. And it wasn't reflective of my brand. So we did a podcast on branding not too long ago. Actually, you guys should be hearing it soon. But it wasn't on brand. And the worst part for me is it didn't feel right. And I know that I was going in a direction that wasn't going to be consistent with who I am, with what my brand is, and with what's important to me if I continued to focus on these things. Because here's the truth. It's 20 minutes. If I got to take 20 minutes to get ready to record 20 minutes, now it's 40 minutes. Now it's not an off the cuff, wake up supply chain conference or call about podcast about what the fuck's going on in supply chain and why you need to get your head out of your ass. Now it's scripted and it's planned and it's stuff. And it's taking away from what really matters. And where I kind of learned this, and people are like, man, you get kind of ruthless with this. Like I can be pretty ruthless with this. And so people are like, where does this come from? This ruthlessness with this sort of like, this is how it's going to be. Here's where it comes from. When I worked at Amazon, everything was about what is best for the customer. What will improve the customer experience. And everything we worked on and we did was focused on that. That was the one point that we focused on. So when I work at these podcasts and I work on my podcast and I work with other people who want to help me with my podcast and they have advice and they want me to do things a certain way, the filter I run this through is, does this help my audience? Does my audience care? Does my audience give a shit about the fact that I am sitting in a room that has perfect lighting or doesn't have perfect lighting, or whether or not my wrinkles are coming out or my bags are showing or whatever the hell the situation is? Because here's the real situation. If you work in supply chain, you don't give a shit about these things half the time because you're working so damn hard you don't even know what's going on. And those things will filter a message. It will. It gives you too much time to think about it. It gives you too much time to do this. It gives me too much, all of these things. If I have to take 20 minutes to get ready to record a 20-minute podcast, the world has ended. I'm telling you right now, that's the end. So it took a minute for me. I did it. I set it up. I did everything they told me to do. I moved everything from behind me. The clock's still there. I didn't move the clock. I moved everything from behind me. I shut the shutters. The lighting was terrible. I fucked with all the lighting and it was horrible. And I felt like I was sitting in a cage and I did not at all feel inspired or even at home. So I did try it. I didn't invest any money. I had all the lights you see here, all these cute little lights. I had all that. So I didn't invest any money, but it didn't feel good. And that's why I want to talk about it in this podcast, because so many times in life we're going, right? We got it. We're cranking along, we're making it happen. We figured out something. Everybody likes it. We're pretty jazzed about it. It's working, and people are always gonna have advice for you from their perspective, from what they've learned, from what they've been through, and 98% of that stuff is gonna be gold. 2% of it's bullshit. Actually, I'll take that back. Probably 15% of it is bullshit. 85% of it is gold. We've talked about feedback. This kind of falls in that same thing. Lots of people are going to have thoughts about what you're building and what you're doing and what you can do better. And you can always improve. I am not about saying you can't improve and you should not listen to this feedback. You should listen to it. But you have to have your own voice, your own sense of what this is and what you want out of it. You have to know that and you have to be solid with that. Solid. And you have to say no. It's what I had to do. I appreciate the feedback. Yes, we have made improvements to my space. Yes, as soon as I get that rocking chair fixed, it's going to look good. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't make my recording space look like everybody else's recording space, which is kind of what it looked like. And I can't do fuzzy filters because my ass moves around too much. So we're going to do it my way. Like this is the Kim podcast. This is what makes my podcast unique. And yeah, I get it. Like maybe to be on another podcast, I may have to tweak something and it might hold me back from being on other stuff because I don't look like all the other podcasts out there and I don't have the same space out there that everybody has. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that because that was the whole point of starting the morning mood was because it was a mood. God, I got to get this out of my head. We're going to talk today, whether or not you want to listen or not. And I never want to lose that. I never want to lose that authenticity. Now, I'm not saying I can't zhuzh my stuff and make it a little bit more professional. That's what we're attempting to do here. I think it looks better. I do. I like the colors. I'm in it. But you have to know yourself first. And you have to anchor on that and come back to it because that's what I had to do. I had to try it. I had to see it. I had to see if maybe I can make it work. It's not working. I've tried every angle in this room. It's a great room. I have a great view out the back window. I look at it. I have a mirror over my monitor, which reflects a lot of natural light in here. It's great. I have a beautiful view behind me of Cod Creek off the Potomac River. It's gorgeous. I don't want to hide that. I don't want to block that off. I don't want to change the way I feel every morning in order to record something that looks like other people's podcasts. My message is unique. My look is unique. My podcast should be unique. So if you're going through this, if you're like, dang, these people keep telling me I got to do all this other stuff and I don't know. And I thought I had it figured out and blah, 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 blah. And we're trying to grow and we're trying to do something new and I don't know what to do. And here's my advice to you. 1, go back to your North Star. Why are you doing this? What drove you to do this? What was the inspiration? What woke you up in the middle of the night and said, oh my God, I got to do this? What was it? What was it? For me, it was authenticity and an honest message about supply chain leadership in life for people out there who probably don't have access to a lot of mentors helping them out with supply chain leadership in life. That was it. That's why I started it. Does my background make a difference? Hell no, it does not. Now, I might do a cute little neon sign. I've been thinking about that since we have a new, and I think that might be fly. So be on the lookout for that. But number 1, go back to why did you start? What's your foundation? What's your cornerstone? What's your keystone? What made you do this? Go back to that. That voice, your voice inside your head. Visit with them. Okay? All right. Now you got them, right? You got that voice? Okay, good. Now take all this advice that you're getting from other people and it's valid advice. I don't want to make it ever sound like your advice that you're getting is not good. But listen to that advice. Take that advice, mix it in with that number one thing we just talked about, which why are you doing this? You're a rock. You're crystal. Why are you doing this? Okay? Take it to there. Does it align? It doesn't have to fit perfectly. It doesn't have to match perfectly. In fact, hopefully what you're getting is feedback that's a little bit before, after, or sideways from what you got going on, because it's a slightly different angle that will help you develop something better. But if it is totally orthogonal, completely in the opposite direction, cross grain, whatever you want to call it, take a pause, sit with it. Why? Maybe try it on like I did with the lighting today. I tried it. It's actually earlier in this recording. Maybe they'll include it. I don't like it. Low investment. Flip it around, roll it around in your hand. Yeah? If it doesn't fit, toss it. If you do not do this, you will chase down everyone else's dream for the rest of your life, because you will be doing what everybody else has been telling you to do. You will not be doing what you really want to do. So, number 2, take that advice, listen to it. Don't just throw it away. Try it on. Bump it up against what you're really trying to get accomplished. And does it fit? And if it doesn't, throw it away. And number 3, keep going. Just because someone told you you're doing it wrong, or they don't agree with how you're doing it, or they have some opinion on how you should do it differently, don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. Take the advice that fits and helps and makes you better and strengthens yourself. Take that and keep going. But when you get advice that is counter to what you want to do, that maybe you don't agree with, or blah, 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 don't stop. Don't just give up and stop. Don't just give it up. No, keep going. If it doesn't fit, drop it or take the pieces of it that work for you. You don't have to take all the advice. You can take bits of the advice. All of this advice I got was in great intention. It was beautiful. I don't resent it. I love it. I tried it. It didn't work. But I felt off brand and it made me mad for a minute. And that getting mad about it is what made me realize that this isn't what my podcast is about. And I don't want to focus on that. So small improvements, we're making it better, but it's always going to be just a little bit shitty. All right, y'all. That's me for today. Bye.